Welcome back to You Tried It videos. You'll see on your screen a small timeline that I put together from the moment Bobbi Kristina was found up into her passing at the hospice facility. Um, as I read through this and was putting this together, I started to think more about that summary report, which is on the previous video that I did, and I thought about the drugs that they said was found in her system. The morphine really bothered me because morphine is not a street drug. And as I thought of that, I thought that also the sedatives and the morphine would be drugs that she would have been giving in the hospital or at the hospice facility to keep her comfortable so that she's not dying and in any pain or discomfort of any kind. So that morphine and the sedative are more of comfort, quote unquote, medications that are given to patients when they are placed in a facility for transitioning or dying. So I don't understand how they would list those drugs as a drug, quote unquote, finding that would tie back to her being found in the bathtub. That really does not make sense to me as far as that's concerned. And then with the alcohol and the remnants of the cocaine, if those 3 or 4 other drugs that they listed were found said to be found at this autopsy, there's no way, no feasible way or medical way that those drugs could have still been in her system that she would have taken probably the day before the 31st of January. It was probably the 30th leading into the 31st. She was receiving IV fluids. She was on a catheter, so urine was passing through her body. There's no way that those drugs that she took 7 to 8 months prior to her passing, that they were still in her system. It's absolutely no way. It makes no sense at all. If anyone knows anything about autopsies or medical procedures or medical intake, chime in on this video and kind of enlighten me so that, it could be something that I'm just not missing. I'm more on the legal end than I am the medical, but to me that just did not make sense, because even with a standard drug testing for jobs, people could be on medication and stop taking it for 30 days, and when they take a drug test and have been 30 days without that medication, it's not going to show in their system. So 30 days versus 7-8 months, you gotta give me something to work with. My only theory to that I would think or possibly believe is that possibly they used the paperwork from when she was admitted to the hospital through the ER. I'm sure they did toxicology and screening then. Now that's when that remnants of the cocaine or the other, if they want to say sedatives that were not as strong as what they're saying was given to her at hospice. I can understand the alcohol and the possible anxiety medication at that point. Anything after that point, guys, is suspect to me. But anyway, chime in, like, subscribe, share. Let me know what you think about the timeline and the drugs and what's being said. Again, the cause of death was the lobar pneumonia and near drowning. And of course, that's not the full autopsy report. I've never seen a one-page autopsy report, so that's really, really strange, guys. So there is a detailed report, usually 15 to 20 pages, sometimes give or take a little, depending on how the person passed. But yeah, there is parts of that report that's missing. There's the part that details findings of even things that were around her body when they would have picked her up. They would have bought any little bottles of medication, stuff like that, and they would find the doctor that prescribed that medication. And then also, after they found the doctor that prescribed the medication, they would list the total amount of pills that was in that bottle remaining and the total amount the prescription said it should be, and to see if there was any misuse there. So there's just so many unanswered questions and so much information missing with this one-page summary report. Even her organs, each procedure that's done during this autopsy has its own report. So when they do the Y incision and get to her organs, they're supposed to have the weight of the heart, check it for any kind of blood clots or disease, lungs, all of that, her liver, all of that stuff should have been given in the autopsy report. So I don't know, this seems like someone just sat there that night and typed up that summary and released it to the public in lieu of the detailed report. So we're still kind of in limbo, hanging around waiting on that. I'm sure that they don't, well, hope that they don't think that we're willy foo-foo and that we're going to pass, be satisfied with that one sheet report when we know that there's more. Even track marks between the fingers or in the arm if someone was injecting. And if that wasn't noted at her intake, then the only marks, needle marks per se, that would be found on her postmortem would be where her IV was, or if they were taking blood from her, or when they were giving her injections if they didn't do it through the IV tubing. Those are the only marks that they would find. They could find healing or old marks, scars that have started to heal. So those marks would be conducive either with a car accident or with whatever trauma she went through when she was found in the tub. So that information should have also been documented at intake at the hospital. Anyway, guys, you tried it videos. They tried it. We're not falling for it. Till later, see you soon.